Hello and welcome everybody to the NFM Ignition Series Off Track podcast. I'm your host, Who's Easy, the league owner, also driver of the number 18 Camry. I am brought to you with Sketchy Rain, previous driver, also secondary commentator for the NFM Ignition Series. Guys, it's hard to say like NFM Ignition Series without saying NFM Heat Series because I'm so used to it. So introduce yourself there, Sketchy.
What's going on, guys?
Also brought to you with Stoke Shark. It's 8836. He is our 2019 series champion. Also driver of the number 14 Ford Mustang.
What's going on, guys?
All right, guys. You probably already know the reason why you guys are in here, and we're going to talk about it right now. That finish. Okay. First off, it's a truck race, start of the year. Sketchy's a full-time driver. Stoke Shark is a fill-in driver. Forget the reason. I led pretty much a lot of the race, and somehow I was in third. I forget what happened there, but what happened was in front of me coming out of turn 2, Stoke Shark either got loose or he came up the side draft. What number were you? 46 at the time in the truck, Sketchy?
Yeah, I was driving for you in the 46 at that time.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think we're teammate.
Stoke Shark goes up the track to side draft or gets loose, one or the other. I don't know what happened, but
I went up.
You ended up making contact, and you both wrecked, and I was able to squeeze past and win the race. But what we're really going to talk about is what happened after the race.
Oh, boy.
We had an interesting interview with Sketchy Rain, not too happy, with Stoke Shark.
Yeah,
and you guys were both firing back at each other. What was that all about? Like, what were you feeling in that moment there, Sketchy? Like, betrayed or what?
I was mad, man. I mean, I had a chance to win the race. I want to say I was on the high side. And I think you're right, Shark. I think you either came up the track to try to drive with me to pass me or to help me pass.
Y'all two were side by side, or y'all two were bump drafting on the top, and I was all by myself on the bottom, so I just tried to go up and side draft y'all, but got loose.
For people who don't know, we'll put a video up on the screen so people can see what actually happened. Don't mind, the commentating of this race is more like laughing because our commentator at the time was trying not to laugh on that wreck because he knew something bad was going to happen afterwards.
Stoke Shark makes contact with them, and it goes to 46.
But for me, it cost me a win, and so I can't even believe that happened, and that's coming from a Cup guy just racing me that way, but he's got one coming. Just tell him that, he's got one coming. I'm not going to say when, because he won't be ready, but we had a good race today, but it just didn't fall on our hands.
I mean, yeah, I was just trying to fight for my lead and trying to side draft him, and things got wrong, and, I just got into his corner panel a little bit, but, yeah, if he's gonna start pushing this issue into the other series, yeah, we're gonna have issues, but, yeah, accidents happen, he just needs to understand that.
Anyway, back to what I was feeling. I was mad, man. I mean, I had a chance to win, and I had gotten turned. If we had lined up there, I feel like I would have passed. Was it you in the lead? I think you were in the lead.
Yeah, I was leading.
And then
I don't know if we were coming to the white or 2 to go.
It was the last lap.
It was the last lap, and oh golly, I was mad. And then that was why I said that, was because I had no clue what had happened. Because to me, what I saw, it looked like he had just drilled me in the left rear and spun me. But afterward, it hit me a little bit after that. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back and watch this to see exactly what happened. And then I think it was because it was last lap, everybody's adrenaline's up. You want you want to win. It's
Yeah,
Daytona
yeah.
for God's sake. So you want to win, and then sometimes driver error happens. And I was, like I said, I was mad. I was gonna try and get him at him the next week, even though I kind of stunk it up that next race. And I don't think I really have. I don't know if I raced the next race after that. I can't remember.
I'm not sure. Honestly, I can't remember much after that. That was like a year and a half ago.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
I think John. I don't think Sketch really retaliated too much, but then John's incident with me and him at Homestead at the truck race next week, John kind of got me back for you.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy with that moment.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Dominating the
man.
race. I'm back. I was back in the pack because I was on fuel strategy, so I was trying to work my way through the field and get back into the lead again. And then I drive it into the corner, and we're driving on Forza 6, so these trucks have brake lights, and I see the brake lights come on. Like no one's hitting the brakes on this track. You don't have to. And he hits the brakes in front of me and just slows down so much. I just run right into the back of him and spin out and wreck.
I honestly, to this day, don't know why I braked. I did not brake to do it to you. I think I was they were the people in front of me, I think, were scooting up the racetrack, and I had so much of a run that I was tight that I tried to slow myself down to pull under them. But I really, to be honest, don't know why I braked. I'm guessing that's why, but
I will say though, those trucks were just. I mean, at Daytona they were fine, but it was like Homestead the next week. I never had a feel for the truck. I get a stage point or something, and then I just lost the feel and I don't know. I slid back
compared to other previous games we've raced on. But yeah, I ended up suspending Infinity, and that's when I took my revenge out on Stoke Shark here by wrecking, entering the corner. We raced around each other all day, and we made contact a few times because I was not giving an inch. I was just being super aggressive around him. But eventually, I didn't want to wreck him in around people. I wanted to make sure when I do wreck him, I'm not going to wreck anybody else because I don't want to collect anybody else into our mess. So that's when I took it full advantage when we were by ourselves.
Surprised you didn't give him concussion.
I remember when you took me out, man. I was laughing so hard.
So was I, honestly. I wasn't really mad anymore. I was just doing it.
I went down in the corner and I seen you under me, and I'm like, here it is, and whoop, I went right out. Yeah, Sketchy was internally.
The stupid thing is I about an hour and a half after the truck race, I already pretty much forgave him. I didn't really care afterwards. It's just a truck race. I've won.
Yeah, you just wanted to wreck me because you just want to have fun.
Everybody expected it going into the Xfinity race, and I knew I was going to race him hard, but
Yeah, the fan peer pressure.
Yeah,
that's
peer pressure. But I don't know. I just pretty much did it for fun, honestly. I thought it was going to be interesting for the stream as well.
It was a free pass for you. Yeah, it's free pass for you. God, I'm like the bad guy.
Oh yeah, you are. You're known as the bad guy.
They made me the bad guy.
When there's a wreck on the racetrack, everybody's looking for the 14 cars.
And yeah, everyone freaking blames it on me, even though I had nothing to do with it.
I don't know. I've seen you in a booth a couple times, make a couple incidents on track.
Yeah. Oh, the Daytona Xfinity race.
Yeah, we'll save that for another podcast. But it sucks. It's a new NASCAR game, man. It doesn't have the Truck Series or Xfinity Series, so that's pretty much died out for us now. We're gonna have to stick to.
I know. I was shocked about that.
It'll help our league stay stronger, though. I think it'll help our league stay stronger, though, because you having to deal with 3 different series, I think, was a pain. So I think you focusing on the one Cup Series, I think it'll help the league.
Yeah, it was hard finding time to look after a race on Friday, then Saturday, then. Well, actually, no. We had it on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That was really hard. Really hard.
And when we had practice on Tuesday,
you have all the points you have to do afterwards too, and that takes a long time if you have a bunch of members. So
It's gonna just finding the amount of drivers for all 3 series is
Yeah.
a pain too. So
That was painful.
I think the
So
show.
yeah,
will be good.
I think this year is going to be our best year ever. Like, just speaking from a,
Yeah, I actually believe
you
that.
know, outside point of view, like last year, actually the previous year before that, like when we first moved over to Heat, that was kind of a popular year, but we were just starting out on NASCAR Heat. But like NASCAR Heat 5 came out, and that's when it really sparked. We had like 23 car fields. It was crazy.
And there was on the last season. There was a lot more newer people, and I think it kind of threw like the
Yeah.
veterans off because most of our previous leagues, it's just been that we've known each other for a long time. And last season, we had to get to know other people, and it created more rivalries because didn't really know each other, and we got into it with each other. I don't know. It was a
Yeah, I
fun
find
season.
like with the veterans, they've raced around each other so much, so they actually like give each other room. They treat each other a little bit nice. But when there's new people in there, like you do not give each other an inch, and it like it's very frustrating on the racetrack. But like on Sketchy's point of view, it's pretty exciting to see these cars making contact, wrecks happening, close finishes, like just straight up door banging each other constantly. It's pretty awesome to see on stream.
It is.
Yeah, I'm excited for this season, man. It's working up to
Yeah,
it.
I think it's going to be pretty good. I'm very curious about Bristol Dirt. I want to see how that's going to be, like how their racing model is going to be, because they say it's a
Forgot
new.
about that.
They say it's a new game. They're building it from the ground up, so the physics are going to be different than Heat 5. So like, how is dirt racing going to handle? You know?
Excited. I think it'll drive on dirt like a box almost. You know what I mean? Like remember on Heat, it was like I don't know. I felt like the physics of Heat was like a
Yeah,
toy car,
the physics are pretty
and I
bad.
felt Forza was like
Like
a brick.
But you got to keep in mind.
you spent more time holding the steering to the left just to get the car to slide. And when it did slide, when you tried to correct that going right, it would just shoot right up the racetrack. So like it's
I just hope there's more like throttle control on
yeah.
the because it's you literally just went on the other dirt tracks. You would just full throttle and just maybe lift a tiny bit and
Yeah. If they just add a little bit like rear end slide to the cars a little bit more, like
yeah.
I think that would be a lot better. But there's just so much grip in the
And
rear end,
front
I
end,
find.
and front end slide too. I think.
Yeah, like when you if you if you hop in a dirt car and you just shift her in second gear and just floor it, the whole car does a wheelie pretty much right off the start. So that just shows you how much grip it really has on the dirt.
I wonder if they will do like track changing, like the track changes throughout the race.
Well,
Come,
I don't. They are a new game, so you got to expect not a whole lot of stuff's going to be added like crazy
yeah.
because like they are
Probably not right off
scratch.
the bat. Maybe after a while, once they surface the game and get it released, maybe then they'll be like, all right, here's some content.
Yeah. And for people like wondering about private lobbies, like how we're going to do it, like for one, they haven't really said there isn't any private lobbies. Like I know they had a post out saying there isn't any private lobbies, but they ended up deleting it. And like honestly, like if you think about it, they would lose major amount of money if they did not add private lobbies. Like people that race online, it's like a 50-50. A lot of people race on the actual online with public lobbies with random people, but like a lot of people don't because they hate. If you ever raced on an online NASCAR lobby, you know how it is. It's
Oh,
terrible.
awful.
But like a lot of people race in leagues, race with their friends, just
I'd say that's 50% of the whole freaking game.
yeah, it's crazy, but I cannot see them not adding it. Like that'd be ridiculous. It'd be the first racing game in a long time to do that. Like when's the last time a NASCAR game didn't have online lobbies? That was years ago. That was probably like 10 years ago. So yeah, I cannot see that happening. So I'm not even worried about it, honestly.
Yeah.
Even if they don't right off the start, I imagine they'll have an update for it. Just like people are worried about like the game not being on next gen. It's a previous gen game, but I imagine they'll have an update for it where you can use your Series X or your PS5 to play it. But
Yeah, I'm very surprised they didn't do that. I thought I was gonna have to buy the new Xbox to even play the game, but they're not even making it for it. So
yeah, you think with their graphics, like their graphics have
yeah,
definitely
they look
improved.
great.
You think you'd have to be on a next gen console. But like by looking at the trailer, it looks like it's in 4K, but I guess it's not. But that's crazy.
I just can't wait to see how the car drives. What track are you gonna go to the first time you get that game? What track are you testing first?
I'm really curious about Bristol Dirt, but like
Yeah. If besides Bristol Dirt, like a pavement track.
if I'm gonna go to a track, I'm gonna go to like a place like Auto Club. Like in real life, Auto Club obviously it is a multi-group track. Like I don't even know if they're gonna add Auto Club because it's not even on the schedule in real NASCAR this year. I hope they add it, but if they
Yeah.
don't, that's gonna be a real shame. But
I wonder if they're even
yeah,
gonna add Indy Oval.
I'm gonna go to Auto Club because like it's a multi-group track, but on NASCAR Heat 5, Heat 4, any heat game, like the bottom lane is superior. You could put a car length up and run about the same speed. Those are basically the only two lanes. The top side does not work at all. Like it's horrible, horrible up there. No, not a whole lot of grip. The car doesn't like to turn at all. But I'm
Yeah.
very curious to see. Yeah, I'm very curious to see how they're gonna make that work. If they make it so the top lane's a little bit more faster on some tracks, like obviously like Vegas is a really good track because you can run the bottom and the top at the same time and
Yep.
pretty much run the same lap times. But if you go to a place like Kansas, if you go to a place like Kansas, it's a top lane track. Like there's no bottom lane on that racetrack. Maybe for like when you're getting up to speed on a restart, that's the only time you're really going to be using the bottom unless you're doing a slide job or something. But like, I'm very curious to see how they work on their racetracks.
I'm very interested to see what the drafting physics are gonna be like for the restrictor plate tracks. Let's get a few people and test that out.
Yeah, it
So I'm excited.
should be pretty interesting. So, what's your thoughts on the new game, Sketchy? What do you think? What do you think they should add, or if they haven't added anything, what should they add?
We'll see. I really haven't been up to par lately with the new game, but going back to what Shark said about what track I would go to, I'm actually going to take a long shot here. I would go to a road course because I've noticed over any game.
Yeah.
I mean, not like the heat games. I was never good at road courses on the heat games, but like
The heat game physics on road courses were not that good,
Right.
so I hope they do improve those.
Oh, me too.
Because miss the road course.
But here lately, I've noticed like on Forza because I've still done some league racing on Forza, like Motorsport 7, not 6, because 6 is dead. But on 7, I've actually noticed that I'm really consistent on road courses. I run in the top 3, if not, I mean, at the lowest that I run is probably top 5. And I really want to see how the cars can drive at a road course, especially, because you want to get a feel for the car at a road course. It's not like any other track that you guys go to. Like, let's say, John said Bristol, or Easy said Bristol. Bristol's our short track. And what you're doing there is taking, like, really, I'm doing it, but I'm taking Bristol and comparing it to a road course. Can't do that. But I like.
Even Bristol is kind of hard. Like Bristol, you're talking about Bristol, but like Bristol on Heat 5, like I find the top lane's fast on that track. Where either lane is pretty good, but like the bottom lane, I feel like they should add a little bit of grip to that as well. But carry on.
We don't drive at Bristol like they do in person. Like I hope
Yeah,
they can make it like a 2-lane track instead of, because like we race Bristol like we diamond the corner, and in real life they go either to the top or to the bottom. They hold that line the whole way around.
yeah, it's kind of hard to do that unless you tune your car for that specific lane.
I hope the brake physics are good, because that's what kind of made Heat 5, like that's what made road courses so difficult, or the brakes and Martinsville.
Man, dude, I don't even want to get into friggin' braking, man.
Braking was just
The
dismal.
Daytona 500 under, like when we came in under green, I remember peeling off the racetrack and just applying a little bit of brake pressure in my car. I did a 360 going into pit road. Somehow I did not speed, but I am shocked I didn't. Like, I thought for sure my race was over right there. That was
Yeah, Greg.
crazy. They honestly do need to fix the braking. Like, your car just spazzes out whenever you hit the brakes. It swings side to side, almost impossible to control. It's pretty
Yeah,
bad.
you feel like you lose the car and you barely touch the brakes, and
Yeah.
it's way too much. I
You
just hope.
can't touch the brakes when you're got your steering like turned either way. Like, it's really bad. You have to be like pretty much straight whenever you start braking.
I'm really curious to how much, because there's so much change going on in NASCAR right now, or like what is going to be in this game, because we didn't run Indy Oval this year, and in real life they did the road course. I wonder if the road course will be in there and the Oval won't, or Coda will be in there, or Nashville. I mean, the Daytona road course for the Clash. Wonder if that'll be in there. Um, all kinds of stuff, man. I mean, I hope to see. I mean, we're probably gonna see if the braking's good. Our first ever league races on what Martinsville, Pocono, and Charlotte Roval. If
Oh, we'll be doing a
it's
lot
all
more.
good.
We'll be doing a lot of track testing before we even release our
Yeah.
schedule. So I'm not gonna just start naming off tracks that we're gonna race at. You
No,
know,
I'm just saying. I hope they improve the fix to where we can.
yeah, I'd like to race at Martinsville. I imagine that'd be a really exciting race to watch and be a part of. Same with like
Yeah,
racing at
favorite track.
Pocono. That'd be pretty fun. I like Pocono, but it's really hard if you don't have a good setup there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, track position
Sure.
is definitely key on those tracks.
Yeah.
I think Charlotte Roval will be pretty fun too for a road course race. I don't know. I think that turn one or front straightaway coming down off turn four into the little chicane there.
Well, see, I want them. I
Yeah.
actually want them to fix all the road course stuff because, and I'm actually really looking forward to Charlotte Roval because Charlotte's actually my home track. I live in North Carolina in real life, and so I could hop on the highway, be at Charlotte in about 3 hours, and I've actually been to races at Charlotte in real life before. I was actually at the race weekend in '09, and I haven't really been to any other races in just years because we haven't been able to afford the tickets or it was just a wrong time to go. But I'll tell you, one of the races that I was at. I was at the 2013 Coca-Cola 600 where that cable came down for the camera. They had this camera that would,
Yeah. I remember that.
and believe it or not, I was actually sitting really close to that section. And where that cable came down, NASCAR, I don't know, for some reason let them run green. I don't know. They right then and there
I
they
know,
should have
and
just
Kyle Busch ran it
Yeah.
over.
yeah they were sitting there running over it for 2 laps, and I'm just like, NASCAR, are you going to do something, or are you just going to let them hurt fans? It's ridiculous
Yeah.
because there were fans running out of the stands. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope they add a lot of cool new things to the game, but I don't want them to add like stupid like things, like stuff that they
Yeah.
don't really need. They need to focus on their physics and
Yeah. This is the
how the
business.
cars drive. Well, technically that is physics, but like their damage model I seen in the trailer. I don't know if that was there was a wreck that happened on the trailer, and he shoots up the racetrack, gets collected, hits the wall, and there's obviously no damage to his car. That might have been like a off of a race that had no damage, but still, I hope they get some good damage models because it really sucked on Heat
The
5, Heat
physics
4,
can
and all
of
the
agree.
like
Heat
how he
games.
wrecked was very good. Like the way he wrecked looked very realistic.
Yeah,
So
it looked really good
kind of
when
exciting
how he hit the
because
wall.
I just hated it when someone would chop your nose in Heat 5 or whatever, and you would be the one to spit out, and they would be completely fine, even though they just completely basically would have dumped themselves in real life.
Yeah, it's crazy how the game physics are on Heat 5. Like, it's very frustrating. You go down to like rub on somebody's quarter panel and you end up breaking loose and wrecking, but he's like stuck straight like he's on rails. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can fix that kind of stuff. But
I don't see them making us like be able to drive on pit road like without the AI taking over. I mean, that would be cool, but I feel like when you
yeah,
come down pit road, the AI takes over so you can adjust your car. It's like the only time to adjust your car, so who knows? It'd be cool if they could, but you gotta also adjust your car, but
I don't
Yeah,
know.
like I said,
shall see.
hopefully
It's a
they can
waiting
add
game.
some cool stuff to the game, make it a little bit more better than Heat 5 and all those games, make it a NASCAR game that's
I,
actually really fun again for like all types of racing, like leagues.
I really hope they fix the camera angles too, because Heat 5, like some of the broadcasts, like the camera angles. I mean, or no, that was Forza mostly, but Heat 5 had some weird camera angles. But hopefully they can make some cooler ones
Yeah,
for the stream.
hopefully I don't really don't care about their camera angles. They want to keep it the same as long as they have like a position thing on the screen. Forget what you want to call it, a ticker. Uh, that
Yeah.
your lap counter as well. That'd be pretty cool to see. I know Heat 5 was supposed to have it. They had it for like a little while. It was broken, and then they took it off. Like, and then they never added it again. It was crazy.
What position we're in, that would help even the commentators a
That was
lot.
one thing that
I
I
mean, we
couldn't
already
stand.
have that in our league anyways for our YouTube videos, but like, it would be kind of cool to have that.
Yeah, make it a lot easier on us. I think it'd be always pretty cool if you can like place the cameras like where you want them, and like you can place
Okay,
them.
you're getting
Like,
into some crazy stuff now.
I know, I thought that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I know it'd be cool, but like that'd be a
Like, you know,
lot.
at Daytona, they have the camera down in the infield and like in the middle of turns 3 and 4, and they have like show the whole pack in like one big wide angle.
It would be
Dude,
cool.
pretty cool
Instead of
camera.
just placing cameras where you wanted it, you could have cameras like cinematic cameras, like through a camera selection on the bottom of your screen that you could switch to. You could go to like blimp camera, you could go to race camera, you could go to onboard camera, and you can go to like cinematic where like it's a cameraman on the side of the, in pit road or something, filming the cars as they fly by, and then you got some guy on the outside of the fence shooting in through the wire looking at the cars. That'd be kind of cool. But like,
I can see
yeah,
them doing that. I mean, if they
they
really put.
they could do that. Like that wouldn't be too hard to do.
I just hope
But
they put some effort in the game, because remember the first ever Heat game that came out was just
oh
absolute
my god, I don't
garbage,
even
man.
want to talk
I
about
just
that.
hope this is just another. I
Complete
hope
waste of money.
it's not just another throw together game that starts off and then ends up being a good game. I hope it starts off as a good game. You know,
Yeah, hopefully they do a really good job of the game.
it
Looking
looks good.
forward to it a lot because it looks pretty awesome. Not gonna lie, but looks can be deceiving. So we'll see how it works out. But yeah, I imagine this season of our racing is going to be our best season ever. Like I'm calling it now. Like Scorch might say otherwise, the main commentator, but he might be like, "Oh yeah, 38 cars on the field, man. You're calling for cautions." Like, but
It'd be a pretty fun Daytona 500. We're actually gonna have to work for it. If we get in a wreck, we
I
gotta
mean, you
work
had to
hard.
work for it every year. Look at me,
I
man.
mean,
I've got 5 championships, and I've still yet to win the Daytona 500, and I've raced for 12 years.
I mean, yeah, but if you get in a wreck, man, you're gonna have to work through 40 cars to
Yeah,
get back to the front. That's gonna be crazy. You're gonna see people come out of nowhere that hadn't been there all race. There's gonna be, if we end up doing like a simulation damage deal to where people like actually get wrecked out of the race. I mean, there's
yeah,
gonna be people that are gonna be holding off in the back all race, and then all of a sudden at the end they're gonna be there, like you typically see in real life restrictor plate races. Or
yeah.
I don't know. I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool. What's your thoughts on this season? Do you think it's going to be crazy? They're sketchy. Like we're most likely going to be having a lot more drivers than we normally have had. So what do you think that's going to provide?
Well, more drivers equals more chaos. That's for sure. I will say that. What I also will say is that we'll have to see, because we won't know until we officially get into the game how everything's going to be. You don't know if you're going to have, of course, the same drivers that have been in the league previously. That was kind of like what Shark was talking about earlier. If you have new drivers, you have to get used to everybody or get to know everybody.
Yeah,
I could see one day just all the veterans working against all the rookies one day, because Maybe they're stricter plate tracks, but I don't know. I think it'll still be a team race. But
I imagine there'll be a few wrecks in the first few races. It's basically we got to get used to racing against each other. Like every driver on the racetrack has a different way of driving, and you got to kind of get used to that. Like understand how the person usually rides the corner. How they lift. Did they lift early into the corner? Did they drive it in deeper? You don't. There's a lot of unknowns when you have new racers on the racetrack. So I have to agree with everybody saying there's probably going to be more wrecks.
there's a salesperson at my door.
But yeah, I think it's going to be pretty fun to see how everything goes. But like maybe we'll add new rules this season, maybe not. No idea. There's a lot of unknowns right now.
I just hope all the drivers are good. Excuse my dog barking in the background. Some sales guy at my door.
It's fine, but yeah, I imagine it's going to be pretty awesome. Like I'm pretty hyped for it. Honestly, the biggest thing I find is going to be crazy. Like, obviously Rex, but like could you imagine winning? Like we've won with 6 drivers on the track at one time. We've had 8 drivers on the track. We've had 23 drivers on the track. Could you imagine with 38 people in the race?
Wins will be much more valuable.
Like you would be so hyped, it wouldn't be funny. Like a rookie getting his first win, beating 37 other cars on the racetrack. That would be crazy.
Especially all the veterans. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it'll be wild.
Big achievement to say that you beat that many people at once.
I just wonder if it's gonna be the veterans up front and the rookies just trying to learn most of the season, or if it's gonna be, I think maybe the veterans trying to learn since it's a newer game.
I think everybody's going to be learning, honestly. It is a newer game, so everybody's got to get used to it. But
I'm really if Bristol dirt is a thing, I'm really excited to see who flaws on the dirt and who doesn't. I know a few people that's not gonna like that track too much.
Yeah, I can guarantee that race is going to be an absolute demolition derby. If they add it to the game, it's probably going to be a demolition derby.
Yeah, I think you'll see some different drivers up front.
I was going to say we might as well take wing sprint cars out there instead of having these stock cars on the track.
Yeah,
At that point,
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that.
I will say that sounds like fun.
Yeah, I look forward. Yeah, I look forward to the new season. I hope everybody else does because we're definitely hyped for it. It's going to be awesome. Hopefully, we can have special events too. Like I want to have like special races, like the All-Star race. Where you can win prizes and stuff like that. That would be kind of cool. So, like,
That'd be awesome.
Who's putting up the prizes, John? Easy.
Go ahead.
Who's putting up them prizes though?
I don't know, man. Honestly, my bank account probably. If anybody wants to donate,
Hopefully it's not me.
Anyone
I
wants
ain't got no money.
We were looking.
if anybody wants to
Hey.
donate, just let me know.
Hey, Easy's pretty good at advertising and his editing. He spends a lot of time on that.
Oh yeah, just a whole lot of editing. Like the Daytona 500. Yeah, that was well worth it, man. 3 days of editing to get like 225 views, man. When that video should at least get like 30,000. Yeah, but anyways,
that race, out of all races for you to edit, that Daytona 500 was horrible. I wouldn't say horrible, but just watching that race kind of gave me cringe.
it gave you
Oh,
cringe.
but-
Gave you cringe.
It's because I
man.
wasn't in it.
You weren't in it, that's why.
I wasn't in it. It wasn't
It's
it.
like,
See,
man, shoot, I didn't have the big one on that racetrack, so
This is why I'm excited about all these new 40 drivers because, I think I'm going to get interviewed more. And, hey, that's just more people for me to get into, No.
he's like, could you imagine the wrecks that I could cause with 38 drivers on the racetrack?
Scorch is going to be like, the big one. All right, we're Shark.
I could just see him going through the field. Which rookie am I going to take out today?
Someone will be there one day. Someone will be there one day. Someone's gonna end up there because of me. I'm sorry. I can go bass
Yeah,
fishing.
I'm gonna be the first driver ever in this series to make it to that lake. That's gonna be
Hey, remember
awesome.
the Bass Pro Shop car is and go fishing.
Yeah. Hopefully the next podcast will have Kangaroo on. He's the main host of this podcast. I'm just filling in for him because obviously a lot of people have been expecting a podcast. We announced it like a week ago or more, and we haven't had time to post it. So I wanted to jump in here and get you guys in here. But I think it was a pretty good podcast. Hope everybody enjoyed themselves. I know we did, talking about a rivalry that could possibly still be a thing. I'm not sure. It's up to those two if they forgave each other. But
I think it's long over.
what do you think, Sketchy? Did you forgive him by now? He screwed you out of a win, man. What do you think?
Hey, John. Hey, quit escalating it.
I mean, yeah, he screwed me out of a win, but it was so
I'm just
long
playing.
ago, and plus it was one of the lowest
Hey,
series.
my boys work hard. My crew works hard to make that car all nice and stuff.
Before we go, though, I would like to let you guys in on a piece of information, and
What's that?
I will say, if I ever got the right opportunity to drive anything anything within NFM again, I would. Seriously, it was fun out on the racetrack, and
Oh, I thought he meant he'd wreck me. I was like, oh shoot.
Hey, who knows?
who knows?
Hey, don't start a rivalry at the wrecker now.
Hey man, just if you do wreck him sometime, if you ever do come back racing and wreck Soak Shark, just make sure I'm in third again so I can win the race.
I'll have that.
Yeah. Oh, so you're saying I'd be leading the thing, John? Thanks.
No, you weren't leading. Sketchy was.
No, I was leading, and I kind of didn't
you
like
wrecked
how it was
him,
getting
man.
taken away from me because you were kind of pushing him past me, and I didn't really like that too much. So I had to give him a little bump side draft, and it kind of
Yeah,
went wrong.
I was only pushing. If you use your common logic, who am I gonna?
Okay, this is my question. How are y'all pushing on Forza 6?
Well,
Because you know what I'm talking about,
The bumper glitch, yeah.
bump,
yeah,
thing,
the bump glitch.
glitch.
If everybody played Forza 6, you know about the bump glitch. It's not fun.
It is not fun.
Yeah, I don't know how they were pushing each other, and I was upset.
And you drive up to somebody's rear bumper, and you go to give him a push to give him a run, and next thing you know, you're ending up flipping in the field. So that's how it works.
John and Sketchy on the final lap of the freaking race, they figured out how to draft. They had a whole race, and I was upset.
Yeah, I flicked on my mods and drove up to his bumper and pushed him without getting bump glitch.
I think I was pretty upset because I got in about 3-4 wrecks that race because of a bump glitch thing of either people in front of me or I got bump glitch or something. I was upset, and then I seen them two lock bumper to bumper passing me, and I was like, no.
You do a lot of bump glitches in our league, all right. No, but I hope everybody enjoyed today's podcast. Yeah, hopefully next time we can talk about something else. I don't know what's in the next podcast. That's up to our main host, what subject he wants to go on about.
Guys, give us suggestions.
Maybe we could talk about like this year's championship winner. Like Big Bucks in the 38 was the winner, but like everybody doesn't know what happened in that race because not a lot of people witnessed it. And I honestly don't really want to talk about it, but
talk about some contenders coming up this season.
We're gonna talk about some stuff.
Give us suggestions, guys.
All right. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. Not broadcast. We're not broadcasting a race. Today's podcast. I'm your host, Who's Easy, and hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.
See ya.
Bye.